The headline from the New York Times says it plainly: victories by pro-Palestinian Democrats show the party's shift on Israel. On Tuesday, 3 Democrats in New York City won congressional primary races, and what made their victories striking wasn't just who they are, but what they ran on. Brad Lander, Claire Valdez, and Dari Eliza Avila Chevalier each made criticism of Israel a centerpiece of their campaigns. And in deep blue House districts, that message won. These aren't close calls or flukes. All 3 are now heavy favorites to be in Congress come January. And their wins reflect something broader: Democratic voters are shifting fast. A New York Times and Siena poll from this spring found that 60% of Democratic supporters say they are more sympathetic to Palestinians than Israelis. Just 15% said the opposite. That is a dramatic reversal from where the party stood even a few years ago. The shift accelerated after October 7, 2023, when Hamas carried out its terrorist attacks on Israel, and Israel's subsequent military campaign leveled much of Gaza. Since then, support for Israel among Democratic voters has, according to multiple polls, sharply and steadily eroded. All 3 winning candidates had the backing of New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani, whose advocacy for the Palestinian cause has been central to his own rapid rise. At a rally for the candidates last week, he called AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, the nation's leading pro-Israel lobbying group, part of a group of monsters that he said were too powerful in American politics. Many Jewish leaders criticized those remarks, arguing they echoed anti-Semitic tropes at a time of rising hate crimes targeting Jewish people. AIPAC and its allied super PACs have not been sitting still. The United Democracy Project, the main super PAC tied to AIPAC, has spent more than $25 million so far this cycle, with over $96 million still in the bank. The group claimed victories too, saying 180 candidates had endorsed advanced to November. But the New York results put it largely on defense. The most symbolic race was in Brooklyn, where 2-term incumbent Dan Goldman, himself a self-described liberal Zionist, lost to Brad Lander, who attacked Goldman for being insufficiently critical of Israel. 2 Jews, both calling themselves liberals, drawing a sharp line over Gaza. Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland captured the emerging Democratic mood plainly. He said he hopes the next Congress will not provide, in his words, reflexive unconditional support to the government of Israel. This is a generational shift, accelerated by retirements. Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, Gerald Nadler, stalwart supporters of Israel who shaped decades of Democratic foreign policy, are stepping away. The incoming class looks different. As Amy Rutkin, longtime chief of staff to Nadler, put it, the Overton window on Israel has shifted more in the last 6 months than in her entire career. Whether that shift holds, deepens, or faces backlash in November remains to be seen, but Tuesday's results made clear that in the Democratic Party of 2026, the politics of unconditional support for Israel are no longer a safe assumption. I'm your host, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.